There is a packet of seeds sitting somewhere in your house right now. Maybe in a kitchen drawer. Maybe in a bag from a garden center you visited last spring with every intention of planting something. Maybe you have several packets, all of them unopened, because every time you looked up how to grow vegetables, you hit a wall of information about soil pH and grow lights and germination rates and fertilizer schedules, and you put the packet back down and told yourself you would figure it out later. Later never came, because somewhere along the way, food gardening got wrapped in so much complexity that millions of people missed the simplest truth of all. Some vegetables do not need any of that. They do not need experience. They do not need perfect conditions. They do not need you to know what you are doing. They need soil, water, and less than 30 days. I have been growing food in backyards, containers, and raised beds for over 20 years, and I have watched beginners overthink themselves out of gardens they could have had producing food in under a month. Today that stops. Before we go any further, drop your U.S. state or your USDA hardiness zone in the comments right now. Whether you are growing in a Texas summer or a Minnesota spring changes, which of these 8 vegetables is going to perform best for you? And Easy Harvest Gardens exists to give you advice that is rooted in your actual growing conditions, not generic advice that was written for someone else's climate. Drop your state below, and I read every single comment. Now stay with through this entire video, because around the middle of this, I am going to show you the one setup mistake that causes fast-growing vegetables to stall at day 10 and never recover. And most beginner gardeners make it without ever knowing it is the reason their seeds failed. Do not click away before we get there. It will change every grow you do after today. Before I give you the list, I want to give you the framework that makes all 8 of these vegetables work. Because understanding why they grow fast is what lets you succeed with them consistently, not just once. Fast-maturing vegetables share 3 biological traits. First, they are cool season adapted or heat neutral, meaning they do not require a specific temperature window to trigger growth the way peppers or tomatoes do. They grow when conditions are reasonable, not only when conditions are perfect. Second, they have shallow root systems. They are not trying to build deep infrastructure before they produce. They go wide instead of deep, which means they can establish quickly in almost any container or garden bed that has at least 4 to 6 inches of soil depth. Third, they are harvested at the leaf or sprout stage, not the fruit stage. Fruiting takes time because the plant has to flower, pollinate, and develop. Leafy and sprout stage vegetables skip all of that. You are harvesting the plant itself, not waiting for it to reproduce. Hold this framework. Every vegetable on this list fits all 3 traits, and understanding them means you will not be guessing at why something works or does not work as you go. Vegetable number 1, radishes. If you have ever started a garden and felt like nothing was happening, radishes are the cure for that feeling. They are the fastest feedback loop in food gardening. You will see germination in 3 to 5 days. You will see leaves in a week. You will be pulling roots from the soil in 18 to 25 days, depending on your variety and conditions. The variety that consistently performs fastest is Cherry Belle. It is round, bright red, and reliably ready at around 18 days in good conditions. French breakfast is slightly longer at 22 to 25 days, but produces a longer mild root that many people find easier to eat raw. If you want speed above everything else, Cherry Belle is your seed. Here is the planting method that works every time without any special equipment. Fill any container that is at least 4 inches deep. A window box, a plastic storage bin with drainage holes punched in the bottom, a fabric grow bag, anything, with standard potting mix. You do not need amended soil. You do not need fertilizer at planting. Radishes are light feeders and will grow in basic potting mix without complaint. Push each seed half an inch into the soil and space them 2 inches apart. Cover lightly. Water gently enough that the surface stays moist but not flooded. Place the container in a spot that gets at least 6 hours of direct sunlight. The one thing that kills radish crops, and it is almost always the reason beginners say radishes did not work for them: heat. Radishes bolt in sustained heat above 80 degrees. Bolting means they stop developing the root and put all their energy into sending up a flower stalk. The root becomes woody and inedible. If you are growing in a warm climate or in summer, grow radishes in the morning sun and afternoon shade, or start them as a fall crop when temperatures drop. In cool conditions, they are nearly foolproof. I will show you later in this video exactly how to succession plant radishes, so you are pulling fresh roots every week, instead of having 30 radishes ready on the same day with no plan for them. Stay with me. Vegetable number 2. Salad leaves and cut and come again lettuce. Most gardeners grow head lettuce and wait for a full head to form before cutting. But loose leaf varieties work differently. You cut the outer leaves and the plant keeps growing and producing from the center. One planting can feed you for 6 to 8 weeks if you harvest correctly. For under 30-day results, you want loose leaf varieties, not head-forming varieties. Black-seeded Simpson, red sales, and any loose leaf salad mix blend will give you harvestable baby leaves in 21 to 28 days from direct sowing. Baby leaf size is not a compromise. It is actually the peak flavor stage for most lettuce varieties. Sow seeds on the surface of moist potting mix. Do not bury them deep. Lettuce seeds need light to germinate, and burying them more than 1/8 of an inch suppresses germination. Press them gently into the surface, mist with water, and keep the surface consistently moist until germination, which happens in 2 to 4 days in warm conditions. Lettuce prefers growing temperatures between 60 and 70 degrees. In heat above 75, it turns bitter and bolts. If you are in a warm climate, grow lettuce in early spring, fall, or in a shaded spot that gets morning sun only. When you harvest, take the outer leaves and leave the inner growth point untouched. Cut with clean scissors above the soil line. The plant will regrow from the center and give you a second and third cut before it exhausts itself. That is 3 harvests from one planting, and the first one arrives in under 30 days. Vegetable number 3. Spinach. Baby spinach is harvestable in 21 to 25 days, and it is one of the most nutritionally dense crops on this list. Bloomsdale Long-Standing is the standard variety, reliable, slow to bolt, good flavor. Space Hybrid is faster and handles warmer conditions better if that is your situation. Plant seeds 1/2 inch deep, 3 inches apart, in at least 5 inches of soil depth. Keep the soil consistently moist. Spinach roots are shallow and dry out faster in containers than you expect. Harvest by taking individual outer leaves for an ongoing production window, or cut the whole plant at 2 to 3 inches for a single clean harvest at 3 weeks. Vegetable number 4. Green onions, also called scallions. Green onions have one significant advantage over everything else on this list. You can grow them from seed in 25 to 30 days. Or you can regrow them from the root ends of grocery store scallions in 7 to 10 days with nothing more than a glass of water on your windowsill. If you have never grown anything before and you want to see results in under 2 weeks with zero investment, put the white root ends of grocery store scallions in a glass with 1 inch of water. Set it on a sunny windowsill and change the water every 2 days. The green tops will regrow visibly within 48 hours and be fully harvestable in 7 to 10 days. From seed, use Tokyo Long White or Evergreen Hardy White for the fastest maturity. Sow seeds 1/4 inch deep in rows 4 inches apart. Thin to 2 inches between plants once they reach 2 inches tall. Green onions have almost no pest pressure, tolerate a wide temperature range, and grow in any container that is at least 3 inches deep. They are the most beginner-proof vegetable on this list. This is the vegetable I always recommend to anyone who has tried to grow food before and given up. The regrow method produces something harvestable so fast that it rebuilds the confidence that previous failures took away. Start here. If you have any doubt about your ability to grow food, you will have something to harvest before the week is out. Vegetable number 5. Arugula. Arugula is ready in 21 days. and it is one of the few vegetables that taste better younger than older. At baby leaf stage, it is mildly peppery and tender. At full maturity, it turns sharp and tough. The entire case for growing arugula is the 3-week harvest. Scatter seeds on moist potting mix surface, press gently, and mist to settle. Germination happens in 2 to 4 days. No thinning needed if you are harvesting at baby leaf stage. A dense scatter sow produces better yield per container than widely spaced plants. Cut the whole surface at 2 to 3 inches, and the plant will regrow for a second cut in 10 to 14 days. In sustained heat above 75 degrees, arugula bolts fast and turns bitter, so grow it in spring, fall, or in morning sun with afternoon shade in warm climates. Vegetable number 6, mustard greens. Baby mustard greens are ready in 21 to 28 days, and they are one of the most underplanted fast crops in home gardening. Red Giant gives you purple-red leaves with a peppery bite. Mizuna gives you milder, feathery leaves with exceptional cold tolerance. It keeps producing in temperatures that shut down almost everything else on this list. Plant seeds a 1/4 inch deep, 4 inches apart. Germination is fast at 2 to 4 days. Cut outer leaves for ongoing production, or cut the whole plant at 3 weeks for a single baby greens harvest. Either approach delivers inside 30 days. Vegetable number 7, pea shoots. Pea shoots are the young tendrils and leaves of pea plants harvested before the plant ever tries to produce a pod. They taste like fresh, sweet peas, genuinely one of the best flavors you will ever grow, and they are ready in 12 to 18 days from seed. That is the fastest true vegetable harvest on this list, with the possible exception of microgreens. Use any dried pea from your pantry or any standard garden pea seed. Soak the seeds in water overnight before planting. Plant them 1 inch deep, 2 inches apart, in any container with at least 3 inches of soil depth. Water consistently and keep in a sunny spot. At 10 to 12 inches of growth, cut the top 4 to 6 inches of the shoot. This is your harvest. The plant will regrow from the nodes below the cut and give you a second harvest in another 10 to 14 days. Pea shoots need no special soil, no fertilizer, and no pest management in almost all growing conditions. They are one of the cleanest crops to grow indoors, on a windowsill, or outdoors in any container. If you have children who are skeptical about vegetables, grow pea shoots with them. The speed of growth and the genuinely sweet flavor converts almost every reluctant child I have ever seen try them. Vegetable number 8, microgreens. Microgreens are not a specific plant. They are a harvest stage. Any vegetable grown to the first true stage and harvested at 1 to 3 inches of height is a microgreen. Sunflower, radish, broccoli, kale, and pea microgreens are the most commonly grown and among the fastest, with most varieties ready in 7 to 14 days from seed. This is the setup that works without any special equipment. Fill a shallow tray. A takeout container with holes punched in the bottom works perfectly. With 1 inch of moist potting mix, scatter seeds densely across the entire surface. Mist with water. Cover with another tray or a piece of cardboard to block light for the first 3 to 4 days. This darkness period triggers germination and produces the elongated sprout that makes microgreens tender rather than stocky. After 4 days, uncover and move into direct light. Water by misting twice daily to keep the surface moist without waterlogging the shallow soil. At 1 to 3 inches of height, cut with scissors just above the soil line and eat immediately. Microgreens do not regrow after cutting. The harvest is a single cut. The production model is succession sowing. Start a new tray every 5 to 7 days so you always have a tray in germination, a tray in growth, and a tray ready to harvest. This is the most space-efficient food production system in home gardening, and it runs on a kitchen counter or windowsill year-round, regardless of climate or season. Now I want to deliver the promise I made at the beginning of this video, because this is the mistake that ends more beginner gardens than any pest, any disease, or any wrong variety choice. The stall at day 10. You plant your seeds. Germination happens. The seedlings come up. Everything looks right. And then around day 8 to 12, growth slows or stops completely. The seedlings look healthy, but they are not getting bigger. Leaves are pale. Progress has stalled. Most beginners at this point assume they did something wrong, pull the plants, and give up. Here is what actually happened. The seedlings germinated on the nutrients in the seed itself. Every seed contains a small reserve of energy, enough to push the first root down and the first shoot up. But around day 8 to 12, that seed energy is fully depleted, and the plant makes its first transition to drawing nutrients from the soil. If the soil is a low-quality potting mix or garden soil with poor nutrient content, that transition hits a wall. The plant is not dying. It is starving. If you are using basics, potting mix, or any soil without added nutrients, a half-strength liquid feed applied around day 10 to 12 can prevent that stall entirely. You are not trying to push the plant. You are catching it at the moment it shifts from seed energy to soil energy and making sure there is something there to shift to. Use any balanced liquid fertilizer at half the recommended dose, applied as a soil drench so it reaches the root zone. Quality potting mixes that already contain added nutrients may carry seedlings past this point without supplemental feeding. But if you are ever unsure what is in your mix, the Day 10 feed costs almost nothing and removes the guesswork entirely. 2 questions I want to address quickly before the checklist. Can you grow all 8 indoors with no outdoor space? Yes, with one condition. Light is the limiting factor. Most indoor windowsills do not provide enough hours of usable light intensity. A basic LED grow light in the $20 to $40 range, positioned 4 to 6 inches above your containers and running 14 hours a day, fully covers all 8 vegetables on this list. You do not need anything specialist. Can you grow these in basic or cheap potting mix? Radishes, arugula, pea shoots, and green onions are forgiving enough to produce without supplemental feeding. Spinach, mustard greens, and microgreens will perform better in quality mix. Green onions will grow in almost anything that drains. Here is your quick reference. Save this. Fastest first harvest. Green onion regrows in a glass of water today. Results in 48 hours, full harvest in 7 to 10 days. Zero investment. 7 to 14 days from seed. Microgreen tray. Shallow tray. 1 inch of potting mix. Dense seed scatter. 4 days covered, then into light. Cut at 1 to 3 inches. 21 days. Arugula or pea shoots in any container with 3 inches of depth. Mist daily. 6 hours of direct light. Harvest at 3 weeks. 25 to 30 days. Cherry bell radishes in empty 4-inch deep container. Keep moist. Avoid sustained heat above 80 degrees. For radishes specifically, sow a small row every 7 days, instead of planting the whole packet at once. That gives you fresh harvests every week, instead of 30 radishes becoming ready on the same day with no plan for them. Apply the same logic to every fast crop on this list. 1 small container per week keeps a continuous harvest running in even the smallest space, with something always ready to pull. I want to say something directly to you before you go. Every video on this channel is built on one commitment. At Easy Harvest Gardens, we do not take brand deals. We do not have affiliate arrangements with seed companies or garden supply retailers. We do not get paid to recommend specific products. The 8 vegetables I just walked you through cost less than $10 in seeds total and will produce food for your table in under 30 days. The grow light I mentioned costs $20 to $40 and will run year-round indoor growing in any climate. That is the complete investment. There is no upsell. There is no course. There is nothing to buy from us. Easy Harvest Gardens exists for one reason: to close the gap between the gardener who wants to grow their own food and the first harvest that makes them realize they actually can. We cover what works in real gardens, tested in real growing conditions, shared free every week. Drop your state in the comments if you have not yet. Tell me what you are going to plant first from this list. Tell me if you have tried any of these before and what happened. I read every comment, and your questions shape what this channel covers next. If someone in your life has a small outdoor space, a balcony, or even just a sunny window, and they have been telling themselves they cannot grow their own food, send them this video, because After watching it, that reason does not hold up anymore. And that is worth 30 seconds of your time to share. If you are not subscribed yet, Easy Harvest Gardens goes up every week. No sponsorships, no brand deals, no beginner tax. Just the straightest line between where you are now and the first time you eat something you grew yourself. Hit subscribe and you will never miss it. Now go plant something. Your table is 30 days away.